Namaste. This is part 4 of the story of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. स्वराज्याची शपथ strengthened the wit of Shivaraje to create Hindavi Swaraj. Now they were confident that God Shiva was there to support them. Now they could not afford to lose time. They decided to start their mission by winning a fort because forts were secure places from where they could fight with enemies. At that time, they were not having any fort in their possession. They started evaluating which fort is most useful and easy to win with their small force. They zeroed in on Torna Fort, which was in the valley of Kanadi River near Pune. Pune was surrounded by 24 areas called Mawal. Each Mawal was having one small river valley like Andhra, Kanadi, Velavandi, Mutha, etc. 12 of these Mawals were being administered from Pune and 12 from Junnar. Torana fort belonged to Adil Shah, but there was very small number of soldiers and officers to protect the fort. Therefore, there was no fear of defeat for Shivaraje. Shivaraje planned every attack in detail. He had complete knowledge of the fort and accordingly he planned the attack. Main part of the fort, which houses the offices and houses, is called Balekilla. That was to be attacked last. Before that, two bastions, Suvela Machi and Zunjar Machi, which are lower than Balekilla, were to be won. It was not secure to enter through main door of fortification. There were two doors in the fortification. Both needed to be taken in command. Outside the fortification, there were 7 security posts called mete, that is outposts, which had 3 to 7 soldiers each. While attacking the fort, care had to be taken that these soldiers should not notice them. After fort was won, they were to be captured. Taking due care, Shivaraje and his soldiers called Mawale climbed onto an unsecured portion of fortification wall. They went to Binitsa Darwaza, that is the door towards Pune direction, and captured that darwaza or door from enemy soldiers. Then they went to Kokand side door, captured that, then Suvela Machi, and last Zunjar Machi. All of these were captured one by one. Then they marched to the main area, that is Balekilla, and took possession of all buildings in that area. There was not much opposition to their mission. Now, as complete fort was in their possession, it was important to capture the outposts, that is security posts, mete. As the soldiers came to know that their fort had been won, they surrendered and all the outposts were strengthened by Mawale soldiers. Shivaraje went to Toranazai temple and prayed there. He thanked the goddess for success. He made a tour of all places on the fort, made a list of repair work to be done, and sanctioned a sum of 5,000 hon, which was the currency at that time, for repair work. Work was started And again, God came for the Bhosle family's help. What was the help? A huge treasure was found while repair work was being carried out. It was a big boost for newly started Swarajya work. There was another big mountain in front of Torana fort. Name of that mountain was Murumbadevacha Dongar, means mountain of god Murumba. Earlier, a sultan had started work of fortification there, but left midway. It was an ideal location for fort. Shivaraje ordered to start work there and to utilize the treasure for that work. He planned construction of many buildings required for capital fort. This included palace, soldiers' residences, officers' residences, storage rooms for food grains, that is, granaries, storage rooms for weapons, that is, weaponries, water reservoirs, temple, gymnasium, etc. When it was complete, it was named Rajgarh and it became first capital of Hindavi Swaraj, that is, first capital of Shivaji Raje. Adilshahi commandant of Shirwal, Mia Amin, came to know about this. He sent the report to Vijapur, that is, capital of Adilshahi, and remained silent. Soon after this, Dadaji Kondev, who was the most knowledgeable and trusted guide of Shivaraje, appointed by Shahaji Raje, and who had trained Shivaraje, passed away. He had influence on officers of Kondhana fort, taking advantage of his supporters. Immediately, Shivaraje sent his trusted men to the fort and took possession of the fort without need of any skirmish or battle. Adil Shah was surprised and angry to know about this. How can a son of his own chieftain dare to act like this? His Muslim chieftains, who were jealous of Shahaji Raje, were already asking him to cut the wings of Shahaji Raje. This news from Kondhana fort poured fuel into this fire. He asked Shahaji Raje to control his son, but Shahaji Raje explained that his son was out of his control. He was at Jinji at this time. Jinji, in those times, it was in Karnataka, now it is in Tamil Nadu. His elder son Sambhaji Raje was at Bangalore. Adil Shah planned a triple attack. Triple attack on Shivaji Raje, Sambhaji Raje and Shahaji Raje. He sent a big army to Jinji in disguise of support for capturing Jinji fort, that is, to support Shahaji Raje. By giving false oath of his security, Shahaji Raje was captured at night and kept in prison. Afterwards, he was brought to Vijapur as a prisoner. Second army was sent to Bangalore to capture Sambhaji Raje. Third army was sent to Pune to capture Shiva Raje. If this plan would have succeeded, complete Bhosle family would have been eliminated. But that did not happen because of brave resistance by Sambhaji Raje and Shivaji Raje. Sambhaji Raje fought the war bravely and defeated the Adil Shahi army at outskirts of Bangalore city. Fateh Khan, another Adil Shahi chieftain, was sent with an army of 5,000 soldiers along with cavalry elephants. Shivaji Raje decided to confront the enemy at borders of his Hindavi Swaraj at that time. This was his usual strategy. This reduced losses incurred by Hindavi Swaraj. Purandar was a fort at his border. He requested the commandant of the fort to give him possession of the fort for a short period, as if he was taking it on rent for some time. Once he defeated Fateh Khan, he would leave the fort, he said. This was an unimaginable request. How can a commandant give possession of fort for defending his empire? But this was a miracle, and Shivaraje got possession of the fort Purandar. He entered the fort with 1500 Mawla soldiers and completed arrangement of defense and attacked. They stored a lot of stones, wood stocks, oil, allotted duties to each soldier. Some group was made for defending the fort. Some of them were to be ready for attack on enemy. Fateh Khan soon reached Maharashtra. He was informed that Shivaraje was not in Pune or Torna or Rajgarh, but he was at Purandar. He moved in that direction and put his camp and started capturing nearby area including Shirwal. Also Subhan Mangal Fort. As per Fateh Khan's confidence, capturing Purandar was very easy task. There was no need to put a siege and waste time. He planned a straight attack. Mawla soldiers made small troops and attacked Fateh Khan's camp suddenly. This is guerrilla type of attack, Ganimi Kawa. Before the enemy soldiers could become alert and prepare themselves, and the enemy soldiers would attack back on Mawla soldiers, Mawlas would retreat and run away safely, making maximum possible damage. In one such attack, the youth who was holding saffron flag was wounded. Always with every troop there was a saffron flag, Bhagwa, which is called as Nishani. So the youth who was holding saffron flag was wounded. It was now certain that the flag will fall on ground and its glory would be ruined. Sarjarao Jedhe, a youth from Mawal, he suddenly came forward, got hold of the falling saffron flag and ran away safely. The wounded soldier was also moved safely. Thus, Sarjarao Jedhe safeguarded the glory of saffron flag. When Shivaraje came to know about this, he awarded Sarjarao with a heavy gold bracelet. This shows how Shivaraje cared about esteem of saffron flag, Bhagwe Nishan. Fateh Khan was angry due to such attacks and decided to attack and win Purandar the next day. In the morning, they marched towards the fort and started climbing onto the mountain. They were expecting some resistance from enemy, but to their surprise, there was no opposition. They thought that Shivaraje must be afraid and cannot come out of fear. When they had completed around half of the height, suddenly Mawlas appeared on the fortification towers. They stopped for a while to see if there was any danger. Yes, there was danger, and Now it was unavoidable. From the towers and fortification walls, stones, big burning balls started rolling down. There was no chance to hide or to resist. Every one of them was being hit by stones. The burning balls, made of cloth dipped in oil and fired before launching, were falling on them. Only way to save themselves was to run away. They were already tired. They could not run fast on the slope. After watching this, the Mawla soldiers opened the doors of fortification, came out of the fort, chased them, and killed almost half of them. They reached the camp of Fateh Khan and started finishing enemy soldiers. Fateh Khan's brother Muse Khan was killed. The camp was looted and destroyed completely. Fateh Khan saved his life and ran to Vijapur. Shivaji Raje showed no mercy on enemies while war was going on. He knew that such enemies have to be killed mercilessly. There is no use of forgiving them. If one forgives such cruel enemy, he comes back after some time and destroys yourself. This way, the first attack on Hindavi Swaraj was averted. Shahaji Raje was still in the custody of Adil Shah, and it was Shiva Raje's duty to get him released safely. It was impossible to get him released by making an attack on Vijapur prison or by making requests. The solution found by Shivaraje was unique and unimaginable. Shivaraje sent a letter to Murad Baksh, who was Subedar of Gujarat and was located at Ahmedabad by Mughals. Ahmedabad, Gujarat was Mughal territory at that time. Shivaraje requested Murad Baksh to make Shahaji Raje and Shubha Raje Mansabdars in Mughal dynasty, that is chieftains. Only problem was that his father Shahaji Raje was in custody of Adil Shah and he should be released first. Murad Baksh was very happy. He was knowing the capacity of both Shahaji Raje and Shubha Raje. Also, the areas controlled by them were at the border of Mughal Empire. Hence, it would be an important addition to their empire and Murad Baksh could take credit for the same. He immediately sent letter to his father Shah Jahan and Shah Jahan sent a letter to his representative in Vijapur. The Vijapur representative met Adil Shah and told him that now Shahaji Raje and Shivaji Raje were working for Shah Jahan. So he should not keep Shahaji Raje in his prison. He should be released immediately. Now it was a big problem for Vijapur. He was shocked by this development. He did not want any immediate problem with Mughals. He convened a meeting of noblesmen and all of them together decided to avoid wrath of Mughals. To achieve this, they had to release Shahaji Raje. But while releasing Shahaji Raje, they decided to take care that Shahaji Raje should not join Mughals. If he had done so, it would have been a great problem for them. They made him free and gave back all his territory, but compelled to release Kondhana fort in Maharashtra, Bangalore city in Karnataka, and Kandarpi fort also in Karnataka. Shivaraje was not happy in giving back Kondana fort, but after counseling by Moravant Dabir that losing a fort was a small loss as compared to life of his father, Shubharaje accepted and gave back the fort of Kondana to Adil Shah. Thus, the triple problem created by Adil Shah was resolved by Shivaji Raje using negotiation skills and muscle power both. After defeating Fateh Khan, Shivaji Raje could have easily taken custody of Purandar fort because his force of 1500 was many times bigger than that of the fort commandant Nilakantha Rao. But Shivaji Raje never did such treacherous act in his life. He thanked Nilakantha Rao and left the fort. A few years after the death of Nilakantha Rao, he captured the fort and included the fort of Purandar into Hindavi Swaraj. This was end of the part 4. If you want to buy this book, you can contact me Narendra Pendse 770-901-3232. Thank you very much. छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की जय.